Welcome back, everyone, to another episode, y'all. I am just coming off of a few weeks of absolutely crazy in the best way possible, but it has honestly just been so insane. It's been about 2 weeks of go, go, go mode to the point of straight up exhaustion, to the point that I got sick throughout. But it's crazy because I'm still so thankful and for the experience and all the opportunities that came my way. So let's backtrack. What the heck even happened over the last 2 to 3 weeks? End of February, I went to El Salvador with a friend. We traveled, we had fun, we enjoyed for like a week. It was amazing. And then after that, I actually hosted my very first Wanderlust Wealth retreat, which was absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, I cannot just explain and describe it all. I'm going to do my best to do that in this podcast episode. But wow, like literally just thinking back to it and hearing the feedback from everyone, I'm just so moved. I'm so thankful that I ended up going through with this and actually hosting it and doing it and putting myself out there. But we'll get into the retreat a little bit more. But then I actually emceed Level Up Your Listing, which is a 300-person real estate investing short-term rental mainly conference. They're trying to break out of the box a little bit, but that's really what they focus on right now. But yeah, that was over the course of 2 weeks. It was absolutely insane. I was so exhausted and tired by the end of it. I came home after that. Literally the second that the conference ended, I was on a flight home. I didn't speak to anyone. I got on a plane, went home, sat on the couch and in my bed with my dog and just vegged out for the next few days because I was absolutely exhausted. But like I said, just such an amazing time. Now, we're not going to go too in depth in terms of my trip to El Salvador. It was amazing. If you don't follow me on YouTube, I am posting like a full El Salvador YouTube video at some point in the next month or so. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a full travel video. But then I actually hosted my very first retreat, which was so amazing. Now, before I even get into like the retreat details and everything. Okay, y'all, do I have something exciting for you? Now, I just came out with a brand new free training on exactly how you, yes, you can get started investing in real estate within the next 3 months. Because if you're someone who wants more freedom in your life, the ability to travel the world and do the things that you actually want to do in life, you're going to want to listen up. Trust me. Now, this training is freaking awesome. I literally go in and spill the tea on the number one strategy that is working right now, like literally today in today's market. And I go over how to look at deals and make sure that they actually cash flow and how to set your properties up so that you can run them from anywhere in the world. Like I literally have managed my properties from over 6 different time zones. So if you are stuck in analysis paralysis, you don't know where to start when it comes to real estate investing, but you know that it's something that you want to do in the future, this training is going to be for you. So to check it out, click the link in the show notes or DM me the word hack, like HACK on Instagram, and I will send you the link. Now let's dive back into the show. Throughout this entire time, I was so sick. Like I actually got sick in El Salvador. I think I caught it from my friend who met me because she told me after the fact that she was sick or she had been sick before and that one of her front staff member had been sick before. So who knows? I don't know. But I ended up getting laryngitis and some sort of like viral thing where I was really sick. I literally, while we were in El Salvador, most of the time I was fine and I could power through. But every once in a while, I just get like really energy drained. Thankfully, this was at the point where we were at the beach. So I could just sit at the beach and sit on the lounge chairs and just take in the sun. Well, really under the shade because it was like too warm for me in the sun at some points to the point where it was really draining my energy. So I had to kind of balance that. But it ended up being perfect. I was able to rally every single day. And we had such a really amazing time. And it was just so good going with my friend of mine. But like I said, we're not going over that. But it was so interesting that I was getting the sickness right before my retreat. And so with laryngitis, I actually ended up losing my voice. Literally losing my voice, like fully losing my voice before my retreat. My best friend, who also works with me in the business, I hired her to work with me in Wanderlust Wealth Academy, Anita. She gets in the day before retreat and I legitimately have zero voice. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I can't cancel the retreat now. It starts tomorrow. People have paid. People are showing up. we've got things going. I need to power through. So I'm just chugging all of the medication I possibly can. I'm taking Dayquil, NyQuil, throat medication, throat drops. My doctor even prescribed me steroids to take so that I could recover even faster and just at least have somewhat of a voice for the retreat. And so for this retreat, like I'm hosting it. Like I have different sessions that I personally am hosting. We have like podcast sessions that we're doing. I have people coming to speak, but I'm generally facilitating it. And a lot of the retreat girlies are there to be with me and to get my input and stuff. So it's not like I could just, give this to someone else to go do. And it was so interesting too, because I realized as well how much of my active income is so dependent on my voice and my ability to show up. But that made me even so much more thankful for real estate and real estate investing, because I still have that passive income coming in every single month, so that if for whatever reason I'm sick or I'm in the hospital or I have to take care of my family for whatever reason, I always have that real estate income coming in. And this is why I just freaking love real estate. And it's just like another confirmation for me of like, see, this is why everyone needs to buy real estate. But I digress. So the first day that all the girls come in, I'm still sick, no voice. People can barely hear me. Thankfully, the next day, which is the day where really all the activity started, I had half of my voice back. So I just felt a little soft-spoken, but I had half of my voice back. I could run the retreat. And after that, every single day after that, it started getting better and better. However, at the same time, because I'd taken all this medication, my stomach was really struggling. So I actually ended up, I still don't 100% know what it is, if it's stomach ulcers or esophagitis or whatever. I ended up getting a stomach ulcer or just illness in the stomach, whatever it is. I still don't 100% know. I've been taking medication for the last few days to try and improve that. And I've just been eating bananas and chicken and broth and pita chips, basically, and toast for the last 3 or 4 days now. But it's crazy because whenever you're in the middle of an up level, whenever you're about to have an up level, at least this is for me, I always get sick for whatever reason. And it's so interesting because one of the books that I gifted all of the students that came to the Wanderlust Wealth retreat, I gifted them this book called The Big Leap. And now I know I've spoken about this a little bit, and there's a podcast episode with Jesse Vasquez. Go back and listen to that one. But whenever you're about to have an up level, it's normal for your body to self-sabotage and do something to prevent you from actually reaching your goals. And it's like trying to keep you safe because it knows you're about to go through this up level. And I find that whenever I'm about to hit an up level, I get sick every single time. It's so freaking crazy. And that is exactly what happened here. So I'm literally like emceeing this conference, running this retreat with major stomach pains, just like sharp stomach pains from either the stomach ulcer or whatever it is. I barely have a voice. It's like slowly coming back each day. Thankfully, it mainly came back for the conference because I was speaking on stage there. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I absolutely love fashion. Like I am always in bright, colorful clothes. I'm just a bright and colorful human. Even right now, I'm wearing a fabulous green dress, if you can see me on YouTube. But I also just go to a ton of different conferences and retreats and events, and I'm always wearing something different. And everyone always asks me, Olivia, where do you get your clothes from? Now, this isn't some Instagram influencer thing where it's like, oh yeah, everyone asks me. No, actually, everyone does ask me where I get all of my clothes from. And the funny thing is, I actually got rid of half of my closet years ago whenever I started nomading because I just hate clutter and don't want a ton of stuff. And I'm just not like a stuff girl. And 80% of the time, I'm actually wearing rented clothes from Nuuly. Yes, this fabulous green dress that I'm wearing right now is from Nuuly. I know, I don't actually buy clothes like ever, really. I mainly rent. And that's because, number one, I get bored of clothes easily and I like to change my clothes all the time. That's why I am legitimately always in a new dress. Number two is I hate clutter. Like I just hate having a crazy full closet where I can't find anything and it's just such a mess. And then number three, I am always traveling. And sometimes it's hard to pack a bunch of different stuff and clothes. And I like to travel light. I also take a lot of pictures of myself. So I like to be in different outfits. And sometimes I even get the rental sent to wherever I'm traveling to. That way I don't even have to pack it with me. And this way I just get to wear way nicer clothing than I usually buy. Like literally over the last 3 years, I have rented over $150,000 worth of clothes, but I've spent less than a tenth of that actually on clothing. And that's why I absolutely love Nuuly, because they have so many different things, so many fun items. I love that they have really fabulous brands like Farm Rio and sometimes even McDougall, which is a luxury brand. I've rented $1,000 dresses from them for the same price as my membership. And it's great because they have super classic items, but they also have fun staples in there too. Because you can rent everything from dresses to coats to everyday outfits like jeans. Now, you're actually in luck right now because I have a special link where you can actually try a Nuuly subscription and get $30 off of your first month subscription. So use the link in the show notes below to try Nuuly out, or go in and type oliviatati.com/Nuuly. That's Nuuly. And I have a discount code in there. Go ahead, try it out. Let me know how you like it. It has been a total game changer for me to level up my wardrobe. So go check out Nuuly. Remember, oliviatati.com/Nuuly, or go use the link in my show notes. But it is crazy because it was one of those things that also put myself to the test in terms of, like, am I going to let this thing derail me? Am I actually going to give in, or am I going to stay in my power and make it actually happen? And I was so firm and like, no, I'm hosting this retreat. I'm going to give these women the best freaking time of their lives, the most transformational retreat. And it really was. And even for the conference, I was like, I'm going to come on stage. I'm going to bring the energy, regardless of how I feel. Like, I am going to make it happen. And you know when that feeling comes about you. Like, you have this innate desire in yourself, this energy in yourself that you are going to make it happen regardless. It doesn't matter what gets in your way. And that was literally the exact feeling I was feeling before hosting the retreat, before hosting the conference. And so whenever we are faced with a big up level, we reach these things called our upper limits. And this is why we get sick, or we self-sabotage, or something goes wrong. It's when you know when it's happening, because you're hitting that upper limit right before the big up level. So keep an eye on that. Whenever something, and okay, here's a crazy thing. Literally, when I purchased my very first investment property, I was under contract. This was days before I was supposed to close on my property. I also got sick. I got so sick during that time. And it was because I was hitting that upper limit, that upper level. I knew I was like catapulting myself into this next phase of life. And I know I'm doing that right now for myself as well. But you just pay attention. I want you to pay attention to any of those times where you feel like you're kind of hitting that upper limit, because that means you're literally on the brink of a huge breakthrough. Now, the retreat. I don't even know how to process the retreat, because it was truly so transformational. And I just remember, like, Anita and I got ice cream once all the girls were gone, got ice cream, and we just looked at each other and we're like, damn, we freaking did that. And the friendships that came out of it, the transformation that came out of it, the emotional connections, there were tears, there were laughs. Like, the reason I love small retreats over big conferences is it's so easy to just kind of get lost in the noise. Sometimes things kind of drag on. Not to say like all conferences are like this, but it tends to be a lot harder to keep people engaged through a big conference. But with a retreat, and so crazy, all the speakers said this to me who came and spoke at the retreat. They were like, everyone was just so engaged the entire time. They were ready to learn. They were ready to take in, soak up everything that they possibly could. And they were so open to receiving, which was so huge. And I think that's why, like, I really have no desire to host a large conference, but I love hosting the smaller, more intimate retreat. And I know that there are going to be many more variations of that in the future. And it really just felt like the season of giving so much. Like, Anita and I gave our freaking all during that retreat, gave the girls our all, gave them our energy, gave them our insights, and just seeing the connections that were made and how moved everyone was by the end of it. And just, it really shows the power of getting in the room, of surrounding yourself with similar people, with similar mindsets, with people who are going to push you, with people who aren't going to let you settle. And that's why I love coaching. I love retreats. I love these things, because you really change people's lives. And I'm like, this is why I do what I do. This is what keeps me going. This is what fuels me, and it fuels me to get more properties, and it fuels me to continue doing life on my own way and showing other people that you can do it too. And so I always want you to think about, like, what impact are you having on this world? And like, I can already tell these women, they're taking this back to their friends. Like, literally, one of the girls who came to the retreat, she messaged me after. She's like, I've already recommended this book to so many people, and I've already like told them about this, and I'm already influencing other people. And I'm like, yes, that's the ripple effect. That's the ripple effect of getting in the room. That's a ripple effect of surrounding yourself with people who are going to make you think outside of the box and make sure that you aren't giving up on your goals. And like, the big theme around this retreat was like, yes, there was real estate in there, and it was really cool because we only had female speakers come speak, and just seeing everyone's different way of life and how they got to where they did, both with their entrepreneurial journey, with their real estate journey, with balancing their lives as moms, as partners, as women, you know? And I was just like, yes, this is the energy that we need to be imparting on the youth of today, and on the 20-year-olds of today, and on the 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds of today, on everyone. They need this energy. And like, this is really, truly what keeps me going. But the big theme for the retreat was really tapping into your authenticity. So like, yes, there was real estate, and we really like dug into like how everyone can scale and what their next steps are. And everyone actually came out with specific action items that they needed to do and accomplish. And we also had activities and workshops that they did during the retreat to make sure that they pushed the needle. But the big theme around it was this idea of the leap, right? Taking the leap into the life that you want, going back into your authenticity. What do you want? Not what does everyone else want for you, not what looks good on paper, not what your mom wants for you. No, what do you want for you? What do you want for your life? What do you want in this lifetime? Because people don't really take the time to really think about that. And everyone always says like, I'm a dreamer and I've got these big ideas, but it's because I take the time to really think and map out, what do I want my life to look like? And then I work relentlessly to go and get it. And those are the beliefs. Those are the things that I was instilling, and Anita was instilling, and everyone in that room, all the speakers, were instilling in these women too. And so I just so freaking good. Honestly, I love the retreat. I loved it so much. And then it was so cool, even like seeing the difference between the retreat and the conference. They both have such different values and different purposes. And seeing the conference was really amazing as well. But just getting to dig in so much deeper on the retreat truly just changed everything. But it was so cool too, because even with the conference though, the conference is what really is, I know, catapulting me into different opportunities, right? Like, I have a meeting with a really potentially big brand partner, which is really cool, that I would never have had access to if I hadn't gone and emceed at the conference. And so when you're in a season where opportunities are being thrown at you, take them by the horn, right? Because I also know, like, what I just did over the last 2 weeks, I will not be able to do that in like 5 or 10 years. Like, especially once I have kids and stuff, like, I'm going to be tired. And part of why I'm doing all of this now is to build so that later down in life, I have so many more options. I'm able to do life my own way. I'm able to be a mom my own way, right? And so this is why we buy real estate. This is why we become entrepreneurs. This is why we build businesses. This is why we craft our dream lives and we do it the way that we want to do it, is so that we have options down the line and we have so many opportunities that are presented to us. But honestly, it's been a little while since I've truly like pushed past my limit and like physically in terms of what I could do in 2 weeks. And that's exactly what I did over the last 2 weeks. I'm so happy about it. I am so proud of myself for it. I definitely needed a break. I'm excited to sit my behind at home for the next like month, basically 2 months. I have just one little trip in between there, and I'm really focusing on work for the next couple months before another big trip. But it's so cool to see what we're able to accomplish when we just go for it. So I hope this gives you some motivation to go for it too. Get yourselves in the rooms, put yourself out there, because you never know where it's going to take you, and surround yourself with people who are just as ambitious as you are. Now, that's all I've got for you today. Make sure to leave a review. That is literally the most important part of having a podcast, is getting reviews. So if you want to help support just like me, the vision of the business, the people in my community, leave a review, right? Because whenever I'm looking at podcasts as well, I look at the reviews to see if I want to read them. Okay, so leave a review and screenshot it and send it to me so that I can thank you. Okay, bye fam. Thank you so much for listening to Wanderlust Wealth Show. Now, don't forget to follow the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you love this episode, it would literally mean the world to me if you shared this with a friend or a family member or literally like anyone off of the street. Like right now, go ahead, share it so you don't forget, or post it on social media and make sure to tag me. I love seeing what you're listening in on and what you resonated with, and I'm just so freaking thankful for you. I'm so freaking excited for you. I love you, and don't forget, life really doesn't have to be hard.